he had last night. The veteran performing very well for Auburn here this weekend as well. And Cade Smith on the mound for Mississippi State, looking to bounce back a little bit from an outing last time out against LSU. Pitched good until he got into the fifth, and things kind of came apart on him. Cade looking for a good outing here today. Like to see him pitch with confidence and be mindful of the wind. Nothing to right's going to get help today.
And the first pitch to Blake Rambush is outside ball one. Rambush had a double to get it all started yesterday in the first inning and was left stranded in the first. And that was his only hit. He was hit by a pitch twice and he grounded out twice. So officially 1 for 3 in the game yesterday after going 3 for 5 in the Thursday game. Game 3 of this 3-game series, State winning on Thursday 7-6 and had to do it in come from behind fashion. And then a 9-5 win yesterday for the Dogs. And Cade Smith has been as steady of a starter that State has had this season, Charlie.
Yeah, he certainly has. Like I said, last week, couldn't get the Bulldogs that win in that final game of the series. Bulldogs were swept, but pitched really good. They just ran into some trouble in the fifth.
Fast worker, and there's a fly ball hit into right field. Backing up on is Clark. You see the wind just killed it when it got out to right field. Rambush goes the other way. That's not where you want to hit the ball in the air today, and that's to right field. It's blowing straight in. Kellum Clark making the play for out number 1.
Initial reaction seeing that ball off the bat is that it's going to push Kellum Clark all the way back to the wall, but not getting a lot of help right now. Wind has kind of been blowing in a little bit, maybe out to left some right now. It's kind of shifted a little here over the past 10 minutes.
Kason Howell steps in, takes a first pitch strike. Yeah, it's kind of shifted. It's coming straight in from the east at times, which is straight in from right field. Then a couple minutes later, it's blowing from right field foul pole to left field foul pole. Certainly, it won't hold anything up this hit down the left field line. That flag out in right field. The 0-2. Ground ball left side. That's headed to left field. Kason Howell on an 0-2 pitch. He had 3 hits in the game yesterday and went 3 for 5, and he gets Auburn's first hit here today.
Yeah, 5th hit on the weekend for Kason Howell. And that gets a man aboard for Sonny DeShera. DeShera just 2 for 8 here on the weekend. You say just because coming into this ball game hitting .423, 11 home runs. Bulldogs have avoided DeShera causing any real damage.
Hitting an even .400 in league play, Sonny DeShera, a senior from Hoover, of course played at Samford. And a transfer down to Auburn this year. 20 hits and 50 at bats in league play. 6 home runs in SEC play. 6 of his 11 have come in SEC games. The State's got the shift on. Here's a 1-1. They're trying to keep it low to Sonny DeShera, just low. And the thing about a guy like Sonny DeShera is, Charlie, he's got some pop, a lot of pop. But he's also a guy who's got a good eye at the plate. He has walked an inordinate amount of times this season.
Yeah, 33 walks, just 20 strikeouts. So that's a ratio for a big guy, a big power type guy that you could certainly be happy with.
And now the count 3-1. And with the wind blowing crossways a little bit out to the left field, you got to be careful right here. And it stayed away from him with a breaking ball. And now a walk followed, following the single to left field here in the first, and 2 runners on and 1 out. And here's a left-handed hitting Cam Hill.
Hill getting the start today in place of Brooks Carlson, who's batted in this spot the first 2 games of the series.
Hill batting .283, making his 17th start of the season. And lo and behold, Charlie, we got a little sunshine here. pitch outside. Boy, it's been a nasty day here at Starkville. Just a lot of rain. We've had a lot of lightning. We had a little bit of a delay last night getting started. We had another delay last night about 10:30. We finished the game at about 11:40 last night. And now quickly 2-0. Ground ball single by Kason Howell, followed by a walk to Sonny DeShera. And now 3-0 to the left-handed hitting Cam Hill.
Now a lot of misses glove side right now for Cade Smith.
And he gets that one in there at 93. This game originally scheduled for 1. We found out late last night they were going to move it to 3, and we ended up playing at 5. The 3-1. And it's fouled off, and a good job by Cade Smith to re-engage in the at-bat. And now the count's full. Infield straight up, no shift employed right now with first and second and 1 out. We'll try to come in with a fastball that time.
And Hill just gets a piece of it, fouls it off. Tough pitch to do anything with. Got it in on his hands, but a nice job of staying alive at the plate.
And just fouled down the third base line.
Yeah, it offered the third baseman playing way off the line against the left-handed hitting Hill. So plenty of room to push one past him.
And one of the things to think about with Howell at second base, a ball hit to the outfield on the ground is going to take a while to get to the fielders. This field drains well, but the outfield is wet. The 3-2 again. And that ball hit well into center field. Going to hold up for Cameron James, though. He'll make the catch. Runner will tag at second and head over to third. And runners at the corners. And once again, that ball hit the right center field. And it got to about 100 feet out on the outfield, Charlie, and just died.
Yeah, it was one just coming off the bat. Really grabs your attention, and you feel like that ball may be headed to a gap, but ended up being an easy play for Cameron James. Nice job bringing that throw back to the middle. We saw a couple of times last weekend Bulldogs trying to get a little over anxious defensively, try to throw out a lead runner at third and end up with 2 guys in scoring position as the backside runner could follow.
Here's Brody Moore with runners at the corners. Darren Spagnardi behind the plate.
Keith Sanders, who worked behind the plate over at third base today. He worked behind the plate last night.
And there you see Darren Spagnardi. Counts even. Cade Smith trying to work out of a jam here in the first inning, and now the count's 1-2.
Well, it was a single by Howell, a walk by DeShera. They got the men on base, but Cade Smith just a pitch away from getting out of early trouble.
What a nice job by Logan Tanner, the Bulldog catcher, to stab that one. And that's not an easy ball to catch right there. A fastball down and away after you caught the previous 2 days.
And this is the day on the weekend that really starts to show up where those turn into pass balls. So nice job by Tanner.
2-2. And we'll do it again. Lined in the right field, but right at Kellum Clark, and that will it.
Got beat up in a game 2, but he came back in game 3, pitched outstanding.
And the pitch to R.J. Yeager is at the knees and on the corner for a strike.
When you go back to last week, that's one of the reasons Auburn has to like Gonzalez being out there. A team that you watch your team give up a lot of runs the day before, but then you answer the bell the next day. So Auburn trying to salvage a game. Gonzalez, the guy they'd like out there to try to do that.
And here's the 0-2. Working down, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to work down. Gonzalez had just a disastrous start against State last year over at Auburn. Ground ball back up the middle. Second baseman shaded that way. Cole Foster makes the play. And one down here in the first. Last year over at Auburn on April the 11th, Gonzalez lasted just 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 9 runs, all earned. He struck out, didn't strike out anybody, he walked 1, and gave up 7 hits in that game. And State won 19-10 that day, scored 10 runs in the first inning before Auburn swung a bat.
He's had some much better luck this season. He's pitched an ERA of under 2.
Cameron James at the plate. You saw in the open, James with a 2-run home run in the 7th last night. He had 3 hits. He went 3 for 5 last night. Taps that one. Gonzalez picks it up, throws to first, and not in time, and that's a swinging bunt single. Just got out on the infield, right off the end of the bat, and died.
Well, that time the sink just drove it straight into the plate. Cameron James got down the line well, reached first base. Tell you, Bart, one thing about Gonzalez that makes him especially tough, he's just so much different than what an opponent sees on days 1 and 2. It's real easy to swing over the top of it against him.
And just so much movement with his fastball. Here's Luke Hancock. Ground ball right side. Throw it to second, get one to throw to first. It's in time for the double play.
And a board. Logan capable of running into one, so you'd love to have some guys on the bases ahead of him.
Had that shift on him with that double play chance. It actually goes in the book as a 5-6 put out. The third baseman was the guy over there in the shift. But to the eye of the beholder, it looks like a 4-3 or 4-6 put out. Here's Logan Tanner, the 1-1, and in there for a strike. Bulldog catcher went 1 for 4 in the game last night, singled his last time up. He drove in the first run last night with a sacrifice fly. He had an RBI single in the first inning in the game on Thursday. Here's a 1-2. Ran it down, and now the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. So, Charlie, if you're a State guy right here, you're looking for a fast action in the second inning, trying to get that pitch count down.
Yeah, obviously Mississippi State would love to get as much length out of their starters as they can. Down some guys in the bullpen.
Cole Foster at the plate. Had a 3-for-4 night on Thursday, including a home run. He was 1 for 3 yesterday. Pops that ball up in foul territory, and that will get out of play. It'll be Foster, Bobby Pierce, and then Nate LaRue, 6, 7, and 8 in the Auburn order. Tigers got a couple base runners in the top of the first inning. A Kason Howell single, followed by a walk to Sonny DeShera. Back-to-back flyouts got Cade Smith out of the jam. And then State got a base hit in the bottom of the first inning, but unable to score as well. 1-2, there's strike 3 called, and the first strikeout of the day for Cade Smith, and it's looking for Cole Foster.
Let's take a look here.
At the knees on the corner. And out number 1, here's Bobby Pierce. Ground ball right side, pass Yeager and into right field. A worm burner the other way. Bobby Pierce, first pitch swinging. Has Auburn's second hit. And that will bring up Nate LaRue.
Yeah, just a hard hit ground ball just outside the reach of Yeager. Yeager was hit by a pitch late in that ball game yesterday, came out defensively. In fact, after the rain delay, as Yeager was down at first base, Bulldogs sent in a pinch runner. We did not see him in the top of the ninth defensively, but back in the lineup today.
Nate LaRue homered in the game Thursday. And then last night went 0 for 4. And Cade Smith staying away with fastball right now. Quickly the count 0-2. Five of the 7 series in the SEC this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with, of course, Easter weekend. And strike 3 called at the knees and on the corner. And Nate LaRue, the Auburn catcher, is called out on strikes. And 2 strikeouts in the inning.
I think we've seen so far the bottom part of the zone is open for business here today. Plate umpire Darren Spagnardi is going to give the knees.
And now the 9-hole hitter Mike Bello will bat. And chop foul.
Now, Bello, not the only newcomer, but he is the only freshman in the lineup for Coach Butch Thompson. Made a nice play on a ball out and left yesterday that Logan Tanner hit. Did a great job getting back to the wall, finding it, and preventing a big hit for Mississippi State. A lot of young players have trouble getting back to that wall and left with any real certainty about what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and the wind was blowing out last night to left field, and certainly didn't help. Just outside, and it counts 2-1. Bello last night went 0 for 3. He walked and scored in the 8th inning. Auburn scored 4 times in the top of the 8th inning. Tightened it up just a little bit. Went 0 for 4 in the game Well, 0 for 3 in the game on Thursday. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss as Cade Smith strikes out 3 in the second inning. As he blows the fastball by Mike Bello. And we go to the bottom of the second. Cade Smith, a little bit quicker inning this inning. And we're still scoreless here in game 3 of this 3-game series. Well, we go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the Bulldog order. Hunter Hines going to lead off. It'll be Hines, Slade Alford, and then Kellum Clark. Hines went 2 for 4 yesterday. Was on base 3 times. He lined out to the first baseman in the 3rd inning. And grounds that ball foul. The count's 2-1. There's a shot to right field. I don't think a monsoon could keep that one in the ballpark. Way out of here, Hunter Hines against the wind. And it's a 1-0 Bulldog lead.
Wow.
Last night, he went 2 for 4.
Yeah, that's one of those balls that one of the 12-year-old kids down on the berm about 30 years from now, and they're telling stories about being at the ballpark. It's going to be in the collection.
Boy, strike 3 called on the outside corner.
Yeah, nice job responding to the home run that time by Gonzalez. Comes back with a strikeout, and we've seen so many college pitchers this year. We've kind of talked about this, guys that didn't bounce back well after giving up home runs, but like the way Gonzalez just goes right back to work there.
Kellum Clark will now come to the plate. They try to get the fastball on the inside corner. We see where Alabama won last night up at Knoxville. Stopped the Tennessee league winning streak at 12. Tony Vitello was just tossed out of the game today in the 1st inning. Chest bumped an umpire. A little bit of stress for Tony up there. A couple losses this week. Not handling it well. There's a line drive in the left center field and hit well. It's in the gap and it's gone. Opposite field home run for Kellum Clark, his 10th home run of the year.
Kellum Clark looking for his first hit on the weekend, just found it in a big way. Drives it out, power alley opposite field.
And a couple solo shots here in the second. Stung that one to left center. And Charlie, we talked about this last night with Cumbest. And if you're looking for any kind of bright spots, to me, that's when you see that Clark and Cumbest are in on it right there.
Going the opposite field.
Going the other way. Here's Cumbest, who homered last night. Had a 4-hit game. He doubled down the right field line last night.
Well, this is a spot right here. You look at the game plan, see it so often against Cumbest, is to work him away. Another spot where you'd like to see him just go the other way with one.
So Brad Cumbest last night singled in the 2nd, singled again in the 6th. Then a 3-run home run in the 7th inning, a double to right field in the 8th. The 1-1. Well, try to poke it the other way and fouls it off. Look back at last night, Brad Cumbest Hanging breaking ball and a line drive out the left center field.
I don't know if you saw the tweet that Tanner Allen sent at him. They finally got a hold of that slider.
Here's a 1-2. He missed outside. Gonzalez touched for a couple home runs here in the second. He saws off Cumbest into the third baseman Rambush. He'll make the throw across in time for the out. And that's out number 2.
Yeah, and if you're Gonzalez, I think the mindset right here has to be that solo home runs don't beat you. And even though there have been a pair of them in the inning for Mississippi State, we saw a ball game stick at 2-0 for quite a while last night. Auburn's pitching gave themselves a chance after being kind of roughed up a little bit early.
And so Lane Forsythe will now bat. Grounds the ball right at the first baseman, Teixeira. He'll step on the bag, and that will end the win. Here's Rambush. Flight out to right field, his first time up. You know, it was Rambush's ball in right field that we kind of got the feel that ball's going to hold up in right field today. Hit a ball well in the first inning. And Kellum Clark made the play in medium range right field. And now the count 3-1.
Yeah, Rambush has spent a lot of time on the bases this weekend. Of course, that's nothing new for him. In SEC play, a .465 on base percentage.
And that's ball 4 and a leadoff walk here in the third inning. And for the first time today, Auburn's got the leadoff man on. And so Rambush, a guy that will run some as well. He's 9 for 14 in stolen bases. Cason Howell, who singled his first time up, will come to the plate.
Yeah, Rambush gets on base a lot, but he doesn't walk a lot. Just his 13th walk of the season. That's kind of what gets everything going, though. You've got a dependable hitter, Cason Howell, sitting there in the 2 spot. And their job to get on base for the guy on deck.
Sonny Teixeira in the on-deck circle. Got about 10 more minutes left where you've got that tough time of the day for hitters where the pitcher is in the sun and the batter is in the shade. That ball starts out in sunlight, then goes to shadows. Harder to pick up spin. Chopped it left side. Third baseman, nice pick by Alford. The throw brings Hancock off the bag, but he applies a tag for out number 1.
Hancock a little bit lucky that that throw brought him back towards the runner because he was able to make the tag as Howell came by.
And so Alford kind of a do or die play over third. And now here's Teixeira as Rambush moves to second. So that's as good as a bunt, getting the runner in scoring position. Of course, Auburn not wanting to play the bunting game this early.
Feels like a big spot here for Teixeira. Just 1 RBI on the weekend.
The first time up, Cade Smith stayed away from him. With first base open, you kind of wonder what State will do right here. You got the right side of the infield wide open. The shift is on. And a strike called at the knees. Sonny Teixeira didn't think so.
And you look at that one RBI for Teixeira, the guys in front of him, Rambush and Howell, in 24 plate appearances, have reached base 12 times. So he's had guys on base. Not always in scoring position, but at least on base. And now he's got a guy in scoring position with a chance to hit and drive in a run. Feels big for Auburn to kind of put a run back on the board right here.
Yeah, State hit a couple solo home runs in the bottom of the second inning. And now it's 3-1 to Teixeira. You've got a left-handed hitter up next in Cam Hill. And that one's on the corner, and the count's full.
Now, the last thing you want to do right there is throw a fastball over the heart of the plate in a hitter's count. Nice 3-1 pitch that time for Cade Smith. Let's see if they stay away again.
Yep, try to stay away, and Cade Smith left it up, and another walk in the inning. And that's the third walk for Cade Smith. And now runners at first and second, and one out. And Cam Hill will be the batter.
Hill's first time up, he hit a ball pretty well to center field. It was one that off the bat you thought might split the outfielders, but just held up, and Cam James able to track it down with no great difficulty. Looked to be one of those early in the game that we had talked about, just kind of knocked down by the wind.
Count evens to Hill. Off the end of the bat to Cade Smith. Only one play, underhand toss. That's out number 2.
Well, some people with Teixeira running from first would be tempted to try to get the out in the middle, but a smart move that time by Smith to take the out in front of him. And how often does baseball come down to 2-out hitting? Brody Moore comes to the plate. He's got a pair of runners in scoring position, but needs a 2-out hit to bring them home.
The same situation Moore was in the first inning. He had a runner at third and 2 outs, and he hit a fly ball to right field. This time knocked down by Logan Tanner. Kicked up the third base side, but not far enough away that Rambush, the runner at third, could do anything. Cade Smith has tried to stay away. It's almost like you talked about in the open, Charlie, pitching to the wind. I mean, if you're going to hit the ball, he's wanting you to hit it the other way.
Well, want to be careful here. This is the guy that Cade Smith would like to get, but you got the switch hitting Foster on deck, who's had the good weekend at the plate.
Line drive right at the
Okay, you start going through the list, and just about everybody has a story to tell.
1-1 outside.
Georgia keeping Cannon healthy on Friday nights is going to be Kind of a big story down the stretch for them.
Two one, chop left side, right at Rambush. Got the big hop, toss across. And Yeager, he's 0 for 2, couple ground outs on the infield. And the leadoff man retired here in the bottom of the third. And here's Cameron James, who had an infield single his first time up. So Cameron James, who had the first Bulldog hit, pretty much a swinging bunt right off the end of the bat. Went toward the third base side, and Gonzalez had no play. Starts him off with a fastball at the knees on the outside corner. We talked to Butch Thompson the other day, and Charlie and I, we both had a great conversation with Butch. And we're talking about Joseph Gonzalez, about he's a competitor, a guy that keeps the ball at the knees, and you saw that pitch right there. You hear the term pitching to the string, and what you mean by that is a lot of teams will put a string right around the knees, the bottom of the zone in the bullpen, and you have to pitch to that string. You want to try to hit that string down in the zone. He's a guy that, quote unquote, pitches to the string. And he says his stuff reminds you a lot of a collegiate Kendall Graveman, to put it in Mississippi State terms. There's Butch.
One of the best guys in baseball.
Taps it foul. You could say that about Kendall and Butch. Butch Thompson, Amory, Mississippi native.
You start thinking about that pitching knowledge in that Auburn dugout between Tim Hudson, Butch Thompson, some guys that understand the game.
And ran that fastball down and in and got it underneath the hands of Cameron James. And out number 2.
Oh, just nothing straight with Gonzalez.
A lot of sink down and in.
Bulldogs have hit the 2 home runs, Bart. Everything else has either been a strikeout or a ball on the ground. Nothing else in the air for Mississippi State so far.
And here's Hancock, hit a ground ball to the right side his first time up. Auburn with a shift on. See, you've got the second baseman out in the right field. The third baseman, Rambush, is playing to the right side of that second base bag. The 0-1. Start thinking about how you pitch guys when you have the shift on. There's a ground ball hit right at the first baseman, Deshara, trying to get up off a knee and field it all at the same time, and that one went under the glove of the first baseman, and that's the first error of the day for Auburn. And what should have been a ground ball to get Gonzalez out of the inning.
It looked like he kind of took a little bit of a hop to the right and then couldn't settle on top, so Deshara lets one through, and the Bulldogs get a 2-out base runner.
And it gives Logan Tanner a chance. Only the third error of the year for Sonny Deshara. Charlie, we're looking at those scores a minute ago, man. Baseball has just been weird this year. Foul ball back. Not just in the SEC. I mean, you start thinking about LSU, who came in here last weekend and looked great. They go to Fayetteville, get swept this weekend. You just can't get a good gauge on anybody. Vanderbilt goes to Auburn last weekend, loses 2 out of 3. Vandy's had a real slow go of it.
And Tennessee no longer looking invincible.
No, Tennessee doesn't look invincible. Florida State 3 weeks ago was in the top 5-6 team in the country. There's a ground ball headed to right field against the shift. Hancock going to try to get to third. Here comes the throw in that direction, and he is meat. He always tells everybody he's the busiest guy in the athletic department. No, he really is. Well, we go to the fourth inning. Cade Smith working, and it will be the 6-hole hitter, Cade Foster, who struck out looking his first time up. Cole Foster struck out looking. Then you got Bobby Pierce, Nate LaRue against Cade Smith. That ball ripped foul down in the terraced area.
Well, it's really turned out to be a nice night.
Had it, though.
It was a little shocking, though, just to the senses, to see a tarp pulled and then a crew water the infield. Had the hose out, soaking down the dirt. So what's going on here?
Well, I mean, it was all dry.
Ish. One minute they're throwing down Diamond Dry, the next minute they're putting the hose on it.
And keep that consistency. The 2-2, way outside. Man, there's strike 3 called for out number 1 of the 4. Foster looks at strike 3 for the second time today. And the leadoff man retired in the 4th.
You talked about pitching to the string earlier, and that's what Cade Smith's been doing. He's just been wearing out the bottom part of the strike zone.
Here's Bobby Pierce, who has one of the 2 Auburn hits. Single to right field, first pitch swinging back in the second inning. Cade Smith struck out the next 2 batters. He's got 4 strikeouts now. There's a ground ball, and that's a fair ball just inside the bag at third. It'll carry him off that corner, and taking second base is Bobby Pierce with a double. That ball right down the line.
Let's take a look. Offered off the line and just inside the bag. Looked a lot like the ball Yeager hit for Mississippi State last night. Got over there, kicked off the wall, and it's an easy double.
And now Nate LaRue will bat. He struck out looking his first time up. And a strike call. Auburn catcher Nate LaRue coming into today batting 183, 11 hits and 60 at bats, 3 home runs. Homered in the game on Thursday. Just smashed the ball to left field.
Irwin down to second, Pierce back in.
It popped it foul and out of play.
Auburn's had some chances with runners in scoring position here through the first 4 innings. 0 for 4 in those chances, though. Still looking for their first run of the game.
Two and two the count. Runner at second, 1 down. Breaking ball, line down the right field line. Clark by the railing, reaches and makes the catch. Runner tags and head over to third, and Bobby Pierce in there safely, but a nice job by Kellum Clark. You're running full speed. You have 0 foul territory. And he makes the basket catch, and that's out number 2.
And you got to deal with a little bit of sun at the same time.
Yeah, tough time of the day for the right fielder. And now for the 3rd time today, Auburn's got a runner at 3rd and 2 outs. Here's Mike Bello, who struck out swinging his first time up. Lined into center field. James started in, now drifts back. Cameron James reaches up to make the catch, and that will end the inning. Well, Bello hit it hard, but right at the center fielder. And Cade Smith once again works around trouble. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 State. Bottom of the 4th, it'll be Hunter Hines to lead off. It'll be Hunter Hines, Slade Alford, then Kellum Clark. As we move to the bottom of the 4th, Cade Smith has now worked 4 innings, and he's thrown 77 pitches in the 4 innings. No runs, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. He threw 27 pitches in the 1st inning, but has settled everything down a little bit. And Hunter Hines to the plate, fouls out one off the catcher, Nate LaRue. Well, Hunter Hines' first time up, he hit a smash way out of here to right field. Wind has died down right now, and really not a factor at all. Well, it takes some guts right there for Gonzalez. After seeing what he saw that first time up, here's Hunter Hines back in the 2nd inning. Hit one way out of here. And here's the 0-2. Line drive into the shift. One hopper out to Foster. He makes the throw in time for the out.
Wait, that is the textbook example of the shift working that time, because Hines hit the ball well. Absent the shift, this is a base hit, but you've got a defender right there. You have a short fielder. Be able to pick it up and throw him out.
And now Slade Alford will bat. He struck out looking his first time up. Slade Alford, 2 for 8 on the weekend. You see right there at the very end, getting sync with a fastball. You hear that term, get sync with a fastball. That last 3 feet of that pitch, he's getting some sync.
I talked to Butch Thompson. He believes Joseph Gonzalez is going to pitch for a long time. See why. Tough guy to square up. And we saw in that home run that Hines hit on the replay just a minute ago. That was a ball that got left up. But when Gonzalez stays down, he is really tough to do anything with. Bulldogs just been pounding a lot of balls right into the turf.
Wind to the 2-2. Got it underneath the hands and a strikeout swinging. And that's the 4th strikeout today for Joseph Gonzalez. And now 2 quick outs in the 4th inning, and here's Kellum Clark. He homered his last time up. Went opposite field into left center field. With his 10th home run of the season, State now has 4 guys with 10 home runs. R.J. Yeager with 10. Hunter Hines actually has 11 now. So scratch that thought. Hines has 11, leading the way. Cumbest has 10.
And the thing for Auburn, Bart, if Gonzalez could give them, I know he went the complete game last time out, but if he can give you 5-6 innings, all of a sudden Carson Skipper, Blake Burkhalter, guys that pitched back on Thursday, right back available here today.
Down the left field line, slicing, and that is a fair ball into the corner, and it skips over the wall and into the bullpen. And a ground rule double with 2 outs for Kellum Clark. And how about that? Both balls today that Kellum Clark hits, he goes the other way.
Well, you talked about this earlier. I think exactly right. Clark and Cumbest, 2 guys you know that they are locked in when they start to use the whole field. And that is twice today that Kellum Clark has gone the other way for an extra base hit.
And so Auburn with the shift, and here comes Tim Hudson out.
The Forsythe can't hit, but not as big a threat to put one over the wall.
Chop left side, third baseman in. On the move, makes a throw in time for the out, and that will end the inning. So Cumbest, second time in the game, rolls out to the third baseman. Bulldogs strand Kellum Clark at second base. We've played 4 here in game 3 of this series, and Mississippi State still with that 2-0 lead. Now back in Starkville, 2-0 Mississippi State leading Auburn. Bulldogs got 2 solo home runs at the bottom of the second inning and gave Cade Smith a lead to work with. He had a lengthy first inning, and Charlie, 3 of the 4 at bats. Auburn's left a guy at third base with 2 outs. And so it's one of those deals where Cade Smith has just kind of settled in and pitched with effectiveness with the runners in scoring position.
And that's been the real story of it for Mississippi State, the ability to get out of trouble. And for Auburn, 0 for 6 now, hitting with men in scoring position. So Cade Smith kind of pitches his way into a little trouble, but pitches right out of it. And the good thing is, for the most part, for Cade Smith, is the fact that more often than not, it's been 2-out situations. But Auburn trying to wake the bats up will have the top of the order.
Yeah, so Blake Rambush will lead off here in the 5th. He led off the 3rd with a walk and was left stranded at 3rd. Now time taken. Got something out on the field out in right field. Dropped something across onto the field of play. Had a cowbell fell on the had a cowbell fall off in on the warning track. Here's the 0-1.
We talked so much about Rambush at the plate, but he's played a good defensive third base this weekend for Auburn as well.
Ground ball up the middle, shortstop over. Forsythe makes the throw in time for the out. Forsythe moving to his left makes the play, and 1 down here in the 5th.
Good job rounding it off by Forsythe, getting himself in a position to make a good throw to first base. Just circles, fields, throws. It's another guy that's made some nice plays defensively this weekend.
Howell at the plate. Single to left field in the first inning. Grounded out to the third baseman, Alford in the 3rd. Rolls that one left side. Here comes Forsythe again. He makes the strong throw across. Made it look easy. Couple ground balls to the Bulldog shortstop. And 2 quick outs here in the 5th. And Sonny DeShero will now bat. He's walked both times at the plate off of Cade Smith.
Well, strikeouts get all the attention, of course, but Cade Smith could use a quick inning, so a couple of ground balls, ground outs his friend. Being careful with the sheriff, falls behind 2-0.
And that ball hit into right field and hit well. Back goes Kellum Clark. The ballpark will hold it. He shields his eyes with the sun. Boy, Cade Smith has kind of gotten the pitch count under control now. Very fast inning. Auburn retired in order in the 5th. Well, Missouri winning 2 out of 3. South Carolina winning 2 out of 3 against Ole Miss. Arkansas sweeping. You see where A&M still leading Georgia, trying to take 2 of 3 on the road in Athens. Tennessee's expanded the lead to 3-0 over Alabama in the 5th inning. That's game 2 of that series, and then also game 2 of the Florida-Vanderbilt series later tonight after Vandy won last night in Nashville. So look around the SEC.
A couple of Tennessee coaches having to tune in to the SEC Plus to catch the end of that one.
Yeah. Tony Vitello sitting somewhere watching a few games after bumping an umpire in the 1st inning and getting tossed. You may hear about that one a little bit later. Video's out there. 1-0 to Forsyth. Lane Forsyth with a ground out to the first baseman his first time up.
Yeah, it seemed like a little more than a misunderstanding.
Yeah. If you trip and you kind of fall into a guy, it's one thing. Barrel chest him, it's another. That's strike 1. Chop up the middle, shortstop over. Moore makes the throw. And Forsyth retired. And another ground out. And the leadoff man retired. That's 8 ground outs, no flyouts right now.
Yeah, the only balls put in the air, the 2 home runs and then the double. That ground rule double by Kellum Clark. Everything else has been a strikeout or just beat into the turf.
And here's R.J. Yeager 0 for 2. A ground out to the second baseman his first time out. He grounded out to third in the 3rd. And here's the 0-2. RJ able to foul it back. 2 runs, that's all for State so far. A 2nd inning in which Hunter Hines had a solo home run and then Kellum Clark had a solo home run. Other than that, it's been a pitcher's duel. Swing and a miss. And that's strikeout number 5 for Joseph Gonzalez.
Oh, Yeager just couldn't pick it up. Strikeout victim. And Bart, this is where we were last night. You look at the scoreboard at the end of the game and 9-5 Mississippi State win. You think there was a lot of scoring, but it was a 2-0 ball game after 5 last night.
And Cameron James hits a ball well, straight away center field, ranging back Howell, and a step away from the track when he hauls it in, and a very quick 1-2, 50 strikes. And runs that one over the outside corner. And line to the left center field, tailing away from James, and that one's going to get to the wall. And extra bases for Cam Hill to get it started in the Auburn 6th inning.
Del Auburn needing to find an answer. Cam Hill just comes up, goes into the left center gap. James had a little trouble picking it up. It didn't matter. Hill had second base easily.
And that's the second Auburn double, their 4th hit overall. And Brody Moore will bat. He lined out right at the second baseman, R.J. Yeager, with runners at second and third and 2 outs in the 3rd inning.
Alford, the Bulldog third baseman, had played in on the grass on that first pitch, and now backs up more or less even with the bag at third.
Nobody throwing in the Bulldog bullpen. But Jackson Fristow was up just a minute ago stretching. And blocked up again by Logan Tanner.
Yeah, no throwing taking place, but some stirring now down that way. Last week it was the 5th inning for Cade Smith where he ran into trouble. He's got the Bulldogs into the 6th, but has allowed the leadoff double.
Saw Cam Tuller down there as well. And now 3-1. So a double to start everything off. And now Brody Moore, the count's gone 3-1. Cade Smith had the tough 6th inning last week and bounces that one to the plate. It'll be a walk to Brody Moore, and Cam Hill moves over to third, and Auburn's got runners at the corners and nobody out here in the 6th inning.
So a well hit ball and then a walk. Going to own this one for the next little while. Pitch count now up to 93.
And Cole Foster at the plate, 0 for 2, couple strikeouts, both looking. Pitch is just down. Logan Tanner skipping around and trying to get the call from Darren Spagnardi. Now the count's 2-0. Ground ball knocked down by Hancock. The runner stayed at third base. And so not going on down action. Hancock steps on the bag, looked at home, nobody was coming, then tried to get the runner at second.
How about that? Ball takes him right back to the base. Might have had a play down at second if he'd gone there first, but had to make the wise move, look the runner back. So that's the thing right there at third base. You've got one of two calls that are on there. You're either playing down angle and running, or you're trying to see it through. And that time Auburn with nobody out making the read and holding the runner at third.
And Bobby Pierce 2 for 2 today. single to right field in the second inning. He doubled down the left field line back in the fourth. And runners at second and third and one out now here in the sixth. Couldn't hold back on the fastball up. Nate LaRue in the on-deck circle. Big batter right here. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. Way upstairs. Big miss on the 0-2. And the next pitch will be number 100 of the night for Cade Smith. Logan Tanner flagging that one down before it got to the back screen. The 1-2. Ground ball back to the pitcher. He throws to first. Everybody holds tight.
Well, Moore running at second base was about halfway to third, almost like he thought it was going to be down angle for a minute, but retreats to second base. Smith able to get the out over at first. Nice job fielding his position. He looks the runner back. And then records the out.
And now Nate LaRue will bat with second and third and 2 outs. 2 ground outs. Unable to score runs. There's a fastball strike at 93. And all of a sudden, Cade Smith getting a little bit more life. A double and a walk to start the inning. But then a ground out to first, a ground ball back to the pitcher. Auburn a base hit away from possibly tying this thing. He fouled it off and it counts 0-2. Foul back and LaRue stays alive, and Cade Smith came right after him on the 0-2.
What a big spot for LaRue. He had that hit on Thursday, but has otherwise struggled at the plate here this weekend. And Auburn, who had the runner at third base, nobody out, trying not to squander the opportunity.
Swing and a miss, and that will end the inning. Cade Smith had a runner at third and nobody out, and Auburn has left a runner at third in 4 of the 6 at-bats today. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Mississippi State still leading 2-0. Bottom of the 6th, still 2-0 State. Bulldogs couple solo home runs in that second inning, and that's all. And Charlie, this just doesn't have the feel of a game 3. I mean, you got 2 guys out there, Joseph Gonzalez for Auburn, and then Cade Smith for Mississippi State. 2 guys that both of these teams have relied heavily upon this year, and they've gotten so much out of their game 3 starters so far this year.
Yeah, Gonzalez missed some time with a blister, but since he came back in, pitched well down at LSU, pitched brilliantly last weekend against Vanderbilt. And well, you're right, this pitching wise feels much more like a traditional Friday night game than it does a game 3 Sunday type game.
Here's the 0-1. Hancock at the plate. He's hit a couple ground balls to the right side of the infield. His last time up, he hit a ground ball that got underneath the glove of the first baseman, Sonny DeShera. And he reached on an error. Line drive, left field, ranging in and making the catch on the run is Mike Bello. That ball held up for him and slicing right back to him. And the leadoff man retired in the bottom of the 6th.
Off the bat, looked like that ball might get down in front of Bello, but it held up a little bit. He got a good jump on it, and as you said, kind of had it sliced right back to him. So now Logan Tanner will get a chance to hit. Tanner, a strikeout victim in the first. He singled in the third.
And single to right field back in the third inning, and Hancock was thrown out to end that inning trying to go from first to third by the right fielder Bobby Pierce. Here's the 0-1. Everything staying away from Logan Tanner.
You go back to that decision for Hancock, try to take third base. A lot of times after a heavy day of rain like this, balls that get to the outfield kind of plug up a little bit, give you a chance to take an extra base, but I thought the right fielder Pierce did a great job coming to get it.
And poked in the right field, and Pierce right there, and he'll reach up and make the catch for out number 2. A nice job of pitching there by Gonzalez, just staying away from Logan Tanner. And 2 quick outs, and here's Hunter Hines. State did not put a ball in the air as far as flying out to the last 3 batters. Cameron James, Luke Hancock, and Logan Tanner all putting the ball in the air. That kind of makes you think a little bit. You kind of wonder if the sink is still as dramatic. And then you see that. Hunter Hines popped one right down off his foot. Homered his first time up. He hit a ball into the shift at the second baseman. In the same situation now. Cole Foster, the second baseman, out in right field right now. And a ground ball, Sonny DeShera. Pitcher will cover. Gonzalez is there, and a field in the 4th. Fristow at 92. His last time out, he pitched in the midweek against UAB. Pitched the 8th inning and then was good in the 8th inning, and then in the 9th he was roughed up just a little bit. There's a fly ball lifted into shallow center field. Who gets it? Here comes Cameron James with a long run and hops up. Looked like a third baseman making that catch in the outfield. And that's 1 out in the 7th.
But a catch nonetheless. There you see the numbers on Jackson Fristow. A 3-3 record, comes in with an ERA of 6.85. But you see there that strikeout number. He's got swing and miss stuff. Key is just competing in the strike zone.
And now Rambush at the plate, leadoff guy for Auburn. And Fristow had 3 straight outings against Bama, at Memphis, then at Arkansas, where he was really good. Fly ball lifted foul. Then against LSU last weekend, in 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 runs on just 1 hit. Struck out 1, he walked 1, he hit 1. And lifted foul again.
When it goes back, I thought the outing against LSU, just back to the idea of harnessing your emotions a little bit. Bulldogs got to strike away, and to use the cliche, sometimes trying to do a little bit too much.
1-2 the count. Blake Rambush, the batter, he's 0 for 2, and he hit him. So 1-2 pitch that got away, and a fastball that came at his head. And a 1-out base runner for Auburn here in the 7th. But once again, it's a big miss with a fastball. Got him in the back shoulder. And Cason Howell will now bat.
Third time this weekend that Rambush has been hit by a pitch. I think he's lost his enthusiasm for that, judging by the reaction. Of course, nobody likes to get hit. You especially don't like one up and in like that.
And the strike called, and the count's even. Cason Howell 1 for 3 today. Ground ball single to left field in his first at bat. A couple ground outs to the left side of the infield his last 2 times up. Hits that ball well and past the third baseman into left field. Over to cut it off is Cumbas. Rambush is going to take the wave around third as Cumbas had a tough time coming up with it. And it's going to go in the book as a double for Cason Howell. And Auburn is on the board and has a tying run at second base.
Now, one of the real positives for Auburn this weekend has been the top couple of guys in the order. They have done their job. They've gotten on base, and Howell has had a big weekend at the plate. He just squares that one up, gets it all the way down to the wall. Cumbest has a little trouble picking it up, but by the time Rambush got to second base, he was thinking score all the way and gets home easily.
And now Sonny DeShera will come to the plate with a runner at second and one out. And they're going to put DeShera on. First base open, and now first and second. And now the go-ahead run on base with one out, and Cam Hill will come to the plate. Hill doubled his last time up into left center field. Both teams have 5 hits in the game.
That's the thing that Hill has demonstrated. You might be otherwise inclined to throw him the other way, but pitch him outside, but he has shown the ability to go the other way.
And the 0-1 tap foul. Count now 0-2. Rambush was hit by a pitch on a 1-2 count. Howell doubled on a 1-1. And now the count 0-2 to Cam Hill. Runners at first and second. Blocked nicely. Off the end of the bat, left side, and Forsythe tried to barehand it, and it gets in the left field.
Well, you saw Alford kind of headed that way, looked as if he might cut in front of Forsythe, and it looked like one of those situations where Forsythe got crossed up a little bit. Thinking about picking up with his bare hand, he's got the third baseman coming at him, and let's see if he just kind of takes his eye off. No, just missed it.
And now we're tied at 2, and Auburn's got first and second. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th inning. They give Hill a credit with a single. It was going to be a single, no doubt. I don't think anybody throws anybody out. Howell scores from second. DeShera stops at second base. Breaking balls high. Brody Moore at the plate. He walked his last time up.
He's hit a couple of balls hard today. Nothing to show for it.
And that one's high, ball 2. And here comes Scott Foxhall out with a count 2-0. So a walk out to the mound. And what you're saying right here is, hey, you're a little bit unlucky right there. You got a good pitch on a 2-strike. 1-2 count to Hill, a ball hit right off the end of the bat, and that happens. You just can't allow.
You just can't allow the problem to compound itself now.
Right.
Meanwhile, for Auburn, you've got Brody Moore at the plate. You've got a chance to take a lead. You're trying to salvage a game here this weekend, and Moore hit a ball pretty well out into right field back in the first inning. Hit a ball hard. He just lined out to the second baseman, had a man on third base. Did his job, hit it hard, stayed inside the ball, but right at Yeager.
And a breaking ball strike called to the top of the zone. And the count 2-1. And a fly ball lifted into center field. Cameron James ranging back. There to make the catch, a couple steps away from the track. He throws it back into second base and keeps the backside runner out of scoring position. Teixeira tags and goes to third. So Brody Moore flies out to center field for out number 2, and that's a big out to get right there. And now Auburn, for the 5th time in 7 innings, has a runner at third and 2 outs. They've played it 2 already this inning to tie the game at 2. And Cole Foster at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Hit a ball hard his last time up, but right at the Bulldog first baseman. Struck out looking his first 2 times up. There you see Sonny Teixeira over at third. He's walked 3 times today. Oh, 1 grounded down the first base line, and a foul ball is called. And it was a delayed reaction from the home plate umpire, Darren Spagnardi, of calling that ball foul. The ball caromed off of Luke Hancock. See the first base umpire Nathan Huber calling it foul after Spagnardi called it foul. Now the count's 0-2. Cristo trying to keep the game tied. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss, and that will end the inning. But Auburn gets on the board. An RBI double from Cason Howell, but with a runner at third, Cole Foster strikes out for the 3rd time today. Stretch time here at Dudy Noble, and we're tied at 2. Well, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Auburn's tied the game at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And State will pinch it with Von Siebert for Slade Alford here in the 7th inning. Slade Alford went 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts.
So you'd think we'd see Cameron James come back to third base. Maybe Braylon Skinner take over in center. We'll have to see. But
Von Siebert takes strike 1. Siebert 9 hits and 35 at bats. He struck out 12 times. All 9 hits have been singles.
And meanwhile, Joseph Gonzalez just continues to attack the strike zone and get ground ball outs.
And there's strike 2. Siebert's looked at a couple strikes. The count 1-2. They missed inside, and now the count's even.
Love the way Gonzalez can try to front door you, bring one back over the plate.
Ground ball headed to right field. Well, Bulldogs press the button, and Von Siebert delivers the leadoff single here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, Bulldogs have liked using Siebert as a pinch hitter. That time he got a ball over the middle of the plate and just it's a ground ball, gets through out into right field. So as we expected we might, we'll see Braylon Skinner. He'll pinch run for Siebert. Siebert's got a few job duties on this team. Base running, however, not among them.
Yeah, it's not highlighted on the resume, is it? now all of a sudden you start thinking about Nate LaRue behind the plate for Auburn. And one of the reasons LaRue is behind the plate is he's a very good defensive catcher.
In fact, that's basically the reason he's in this lineup for Auburn, his ability to stop the running game.
Kellum Clark up, fouls that pitch off. Now Kellum is 2 for 2 today. Solo home run in the second inning, and then a double in the fourth, and both have gone the other way. A home run left center field, a double into the left field corner. Throw to first. That hit by Siebert broke open a string of 7 in a row retired by Joseph Gonzalez. Ground ball to short. Flip to second for 1. And Cole Foster unable to complete the double play. I don't know if they get Kellum Clark anyway, but Clark reaches on the fielder's choice. 6-4 on the putout. Skinner retired down at second. Had to take the throw from behind him. And now Brad Cumbus will bat with a runner at first and 1 out.
Well, and on the bases, you see Mississippi State lose a little bit of speed there. Skinner, the guy, erased on the fielder's choice.
And just fouled down the third base line. Cumbus jumped on that one. Cumbus 0 for 2 today, a couple ground outs to third.
Auburn not in a full shift right now, but they are playing very near the bag with the second baseman Foster. So they got Cumbus kind of squeezed up the middle into the pull side.
Lined in the left field. Well, Cumbus hits a shot in the left. Tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Two hits in the inning. State now has 7 hits in the game. And just outside. Kellum Clark at second. Ground ball to short. Bobbled, picked up, thrown to first in time for the out. And so what could have been a double play ball, Brody Moore couldn't field it cleanly. Cumbus slides safely into second as Kellum Clark moves over to third. McGowan out 6-3 on the putout.
Well, that's one, won't go in the book as an error, but it's a missed opportunity for Auburn. Had the double play right there, and their sides could have gotten out of this inning. But now they'll have to survive one more Bulldog hitter as Yeager will bat with a couple of guys in scoring position.
So a go-ahead run at second, or at third rather, than an insurance run at second. And Yeager has had a tough time solving the right-hander Joseph Gonzalez today. A couple ground outs, and then he struck out swinging his last time up. Way inside, and it almost hit him.
Well, Gonzalez clearly not as effective as he was past couple of innings, but given the success he's had against Yeager, goes into the decision to leave him in.
Off the handle, right to the third baseman. Rambush makes the throw, and that will end the inning. So State gets a couple on the bases, but fails to score in the bottom of the 7th inning. We go to the 8th, tied at 2. Then we go to the top of the 8th inning. Bobby Pierce will lead off. It'll be the bottom 3 in the order for Auburn against Jackson Fristow, who gave up a couple runs in the top of the 7th inning. State's got some defensive changes. We talked about Cameron James and probably going to third, and then he does do that. Braylon Skinner takes over in center field, and after Drew McGowan pinch hits for Lane Forsythe, Tanner Leggett is your new shortstop. And the first pitch to Bobby Pierce in there for a strike. Pierce 2 for 3 today. A single in the second, a double in the third. Grounded back to the pitcher his last time up. He came to the plate with runners at second and third and 1 out. And hit a ground ball right back to Cade Smith in the 6th. And then Cade Smith struck out LaRue to end the inning. Big miss on the 1-2, and now the count's even.
So Fristow got ahead 0-2, but now has missed big with a couple. Both of them left up. Let's see if he goes off speed here.
Yep, missed high. And now the count's 3-2. Line foul. Bat stays alive. Bobby Pierce went the other way with a solid single to right field in the 2nd inning.
Ball hit off the wall, kicked all the way into center field.
Ground ball right side and past Yeager and into right field, and the go-ahead run aboard here in the 8th.
Ball just kind of hugged the ground a little bit, got under Yeager's glove, and that's, see how they score it. They'd score that a hit.
Yeah, just stay down on him. And so now Nate LaRue will come to the plate.
Now they'll score that an error. So the leadoff man aboard for Auburn here in the top of the 8th. And you wonder, with LaRue struggled at the plate this weekend, save for a home run if you don't bunt.
They squaring to bunt, he fouled it back.
Might rethink it after that bunt attempt.
Hey, the Birmingham Stallions are playing USFL football. Stallions just scored a touchdown. Osiris Mitchell, the touchdown catch. First touchdown in Birmingham Stallions, the new USFL history. Breaking ball, bunted back to third, and only one play. And Cameron James makes the play.
So a nice job getting the bunt down by LaRue that time. So Auburn will have a guy down at second base and a couple of swings at it. With the 9-hitter Bello and then Rambush, who's on deck at the top of the order. Well, we may have a pinch hitter here, and it looks like we will.
Mike Bello 0 for 3 today. And Auburn's going to bring Ryan Dial into bat. Dial has made starts in 25 games this year. He's batting .244. You see Pico Khan up and throwing in the bullpen. So Ryan Dial, 4 home runs on the season, 4 doubles. And now here's Chris Lamona's coming out of the dugout, and that's going to be all for Jackson.
Carlson went hitless last night, but had a couple of hits in the ball game on Thursday. Didn't draw the start today, but will get a chance to hit in a big spot here in the top of the 8th inning.
Bobby Pierce, the runner at second. After Carlson, you've got the top of the order. Rambush in the on-deck circle.
Now think about Carlson, this guy, a graduate player. He has hit 300 his entire career. Every season he's been over 300.
And now the catcher, Logan Tanner, goes out. You want to make sure you're on the right wavelength as far as the signs right here. Carlson batting .288 on the season. But knocked down by Logan Tanner, the catcher.
Bulldogs straight up defensively around the outfield. Yeager playing in near second base on the right side for the Bulldogs.
At the knees on the inside corner. And the count's 2-2. Straight away in the outfield. You got the second baseman Yeager holding the runner at second. Here's a 2-2. He fouled it back. We'll do it again. Carlson went 0 for 3 last night with a couple strikeouts and a ground out to the shortstop. Had a couple singles in the game on Thursday. Lines a ball into right field, and that's a base hit. It'll get to the wall. Pierce will come in to score. Carlson will go into second with an RBI double. And for the first time today, Auburn has a lead.
Nice job that time by Carlson. He just stays inside the baseball, drives it just inside, kind of down into that corner there. That's one of the unique aspects of this ballpark. Clark did a good job getting over, but not before Carlson could trade places with Pierce down at second.
And now a pinch runner as Bryson Ware will come in to pinch run for Auburn after Carlson gets the RBI double. And now the top of the order coming to the plate. Blake Rambush will bat. After 1 out in the 7th inning, Rambush was at the plate in the count 1-2 and took a fastball in the left shoulder. Was hit by a pitch, and then Cason Howell doubled. That scored Rambush. He was the first of 2 Auburn runs in the 7th inning. A 2-0 Bulldog lead after 6. Cason Howell, who's 2 for 4 on the day, is in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, and Cason Howell had 3 hits last night, so he's been swinging it well.
Yeah, 5 for his last 9.
Yeah, big spot for Pico Khan for Mississippi State to try to limit the damage. Big spot for Rambush to try to push another run across for Auburn.
And he fouled it off and evens the count 2-2. Chop right side. Knocked down by Hancock. Throw to first. Not doubled into the left field corner his last time up. So they charged Hancock with an error over at first, and that's the second Bulldog error this inning. Officially scored-wise, Pierce hit a ball the other way, got past Yeager into right field. That's what started this inning. A safety squeeze, and he fouls it off.
Now, Auburn's had some trouble pushing runners across from third base, but it's a big one standing down there for the Tigers right now. They would love to push him across and expand their lead.
And there's a strike call, and the count's even. 2-2 counts when Carlson doubled into right field, and a 2-2 count when Rambush hit the ground ball to first. Auburn trying to expand the lead after taking the lead here in the top of the 8th. And now the count's full. Runner going from first. The pitch is a strike 3 call, and taking second base is Rambush. And so Howell goes down looking for the second out of the inning.
Chris Lamonis is going to come out. He wants interference on the hitter here.
Well,
so that discussion taking place.
and I know what Lamonis is saying right here. Howell, after he struck out, took a step across. State's going to intentionally walk Sonny DeShera.
You know, that's a spot right there. If you don't have the runner down at third base, Logan Tanner probably just goes ahead and throws it to try to help sell that call. But you can't get cute with a guy standing down at third. So the out is recorded, but the bases are loaded.
And now another pinch hitter for Auburn. Farquhar will now pinch hit. Garrett Farquhar. Pinch hitting for Cam Hill. So bases loaded after Teixeira intentionally walked. Hill today was 2 for 4.
Farquhar hasn't walked a lot this season, just 4 walks.
And the count evens.
Of course, the other reason you use him right here, he doesn't strike out much either. He's only struck out twice this season in 41 at bats. Boy, big spot in this ball game, a 1-run lead. Auburn feels okay. Get a base hit. But for Pico Khan, it's pretty simple. You've got to throw strikes. They got some help there.
Ooh, pull the string, and now the count's 2-2. Top of the 8th inning, a 1-run Auburn lead. Tigers trying to expand it right here. And now the count goes full, and everybody will be moving on the pitch. Tight moment for the Bulldog freshman left-hander, the 3-2. Ground ball back to the mound, knocked down, picked up, thrown to first, and that will end the inning. So Farquhar hits it back to Pico Khan. But Joseph Gonzalez back out to work the 8th inning. He's at 97 pitches through 7+. Cameron James, Luke Hancock, Logan Tanner. Little jam shot off the fist. Rolls out in foul territory to count 1-2. Cameron James had an infield single his first time up off of Gonzalez and struck out swinging in the 3rd and flied out to center field in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Went down and away with a slider, and Cameron James couldn't hold back. And the leadoff man retired in the 8th.
So Luke Hancock will come to the plate for the Bulldogs. Hancock 0 for 3 today.
And a first pitch in there for a strike. Talk about Cade Smith. His last 3 outings at home against Alabama back on March the 27th. He went 6 innings. He didn't get any run support. State scored 2 runs in that game. That ground ball out. The third baseman making the play, Rambush. It'll go 5-3 on the putout, even though it's to the right side of the infield. Got 2 runs of run support against Alabama. Then last weekend, Cade Smith against LSU. He went 5 innings last week. Gave up 6 runs and only got 3 runs of run support in that game. And here in game 3 of this series, the 3rd in a row at home, just 2 runs through 7 2/3. 2 runs on 7 hits for State. And here's Logan Tanner. And the big swing. So State has had its trouble at times in game 3s of series. Offensively, here's the 0-1.
How about the job of Gonzalez getting deep in this ball game and just bouncing back from the 2 home runs.
Throws the spinner up there. Count 2-2.
Two balls that leave the yard in the second. Gonzalez has rebounded nicely since then. We talked about his penchant for getting ground ball outs. 13 ground outs, just 3 fly ball outs for Mississippi State. So count stays even 2-2. The board is full of 2s right now for Logan Tanner.
Pitch number 108. Here it comes. And the count is full. Got Hunter Hines on deck, who has homered today. Chops it right at the third baseman. Rambush got it, throw it across, and that'll do it. And so Gonzalez retires the side in order. He retired the side in order in the 5th, the 6th, and now the 8th. And we go to the 9th. Auburn with a 3-2 lead. Then we go to the 9th inning. Brooks Carlson had a big RBI double in the top of the 8th inning. Gave Auburn a 1-run lead. State's got 2 solo home runs in the game, and that's all. Pico Khan to go back out and work the 9th inning. They'll face 5, 6, and 7 in the Auburn order. Brody Moore will lead off, and then Cole Foster will come to the plate. Auburn trying to salvage a game in this 3-game series after State won 7-6. Scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th in the game on Thursday. And then yesterday, Mississippi State led 9-1 going to the 8th inning and ends up winning 9-5. So State's won the first 2 this weekend. And Pico Khan out to work the 9th inning. Brody Moore to lead off. Khan threw 23 pitches in his only inning of work. He went 2/3 of an inning. There's a line drive to right field to get everything started in the 9th.
Well, for Auburn, trying to play for some insurance here as you get ready to go to the bottom half of this inning. You wonder if Foster might be up here trying to do a job bunting. He does not have a sacrifice bunt this season.
Got to swing away and took the pitch for a strike. He had Hancock and Cameron James barreling down hard.
Yeah, they're both halfway to the plate.
Cole Foster turning around and batting from the right side. Tries to bunt again, and he fouled it back. Foster homered in the game in the 8th inning off of Pico Khan on Thursday. And now the count 0-2. And he grounds out with foul, so the bunt comes off with 2 strikes. Auburn has out-hit State 8-7 in this game and leads 3-2. Tried to poke it and got over in the Auburn dugout. Khan taking his time, working out of the stretch. And strike 3 called as he locks up Cole Foster. And Foster strikes out for the 4th time today.
Yeah, good job throwing inside to the right-handed hitter. Got the inside part of the plate, and that's a big out for Mississippi State to get because you allow the leadoff man on, but Auburn unable to advance him.
Foster said that was off. 3rd time today he struck out looking. That's the golden sombrero. 4 strikeouts, 0 for 5 day. Well, Bobby Pierce up. He's the guy that got us started in the 8th inning. Hit a ground ball that got under the glove of the second baseman R.J. Yeager into right field, and he would later score on the Brooks Carlson double that gave Auburn a 3-2 lead. Throw to first and almost threw it away.
We're 2 for 4 on the season in stolen base attempts.
Burkhalter is up and throwing in the Auburn bullpen. He's got 7 saves on the year. He blew a save in the game on Thursday. So you know Auburn will at least have a 1-run lead when you go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And now the count 1-2 to Bobby Pierce. There's Burkhalter. Gave up a couple runs without a hit in the 9th on Thursday. Pitched 2 innings in that game, or actually inning in the 3rd through 42 pitches. Runner goes, the pitch is outside, the throw is down, and it's not in time, and a stolen base, and that one was stole off the pitcher. Brody Moore got a huge jump off of first. And that's his 3rd stolen base of the season.
Let's take a look. Tough to get a good jump like that against a left-hander, but Pico Khan with his attention on the hitter that time.
Well, sometimes as a runner you guess, and that time Moore guessed right. The 2-2. And knocked down by Logan Tanner, the catcher. And he walked it. Got ahead 1 and 2, but then Pico Khan can't put Bobby Pierce away. And now a single and a walk in the inning. 2 aboard with 1 out. And Nate LaRue will bat.
So the Auburn threat continues here in the top of the 9th inning. Bulldogs, a couple of guys tossing down there. That was Jack Walker on the right.
And LaRue fouls one back. That state bullpen getting really thin. We got Mikey Tepper up and throwing, along with Jack Walker.
You can see Khan right now just fighting the release point a little bit, getting a little frustrated with himself. And even though LaRue has not put a ton of balls in play here this weekend, he's got the ability to run one out of here. Cannot afford to lose focus to a guy like Nate LaRue. Yeah, that swing looked like he was trying to run one out.
Count now 1 and 2.
Yeah, a spot right here if you're LaRue, you just have to try to shorten up, put a ball in play.
He's 0 for 4 today, actually 0 for 3 today, couple strikeouts. Had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Khan was able to limit the damage in the 8th inning, trying to do the same here in the 9th. Foul back, we'll do it again. Chase the pitch down, and that's strike 3. And LaRue strikes out for the 3rd time today, and that's a big out to get for Pico Khan. And now 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, nice job by the Bulldog catcher Logan Tanner defensively here. He calls for it down, he gets it down, and then nice job of blocking it up, keeping it in front. So doesn't get away, runners can't advance. And now with 2 outs. A couple of men aboard. It's
Bryson Ware, who pinch ran in the 8th inning. Carlson had the double, then Ware came in to run for him, and then Ware played in the outfield in the bottom of the 8th inning. In there for a strike. Bryson Ware, .250 hitter. He started in 20 games this year. 19 hits, 8 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run. So 10 of his 19 have been extra base hits, 18 RBIs. Popped him up back behind the plate, and that's going to get out of play. So now the count 0-2.
So Ware would like to get a hit, expand the Auburn lead. Pico Khan trying to get out of it, hold it at 1, give his team a chance in the bottom half.
Thinking about state in the bottom of the 9th, Hunter Hines, Braden Skinner, Kellum Clark, barring pinch hitters. There's the 0-2. Strike three called. Game of this three-game series. Hines homered his first time up and has grounded out his last two times up to the right side of the infield. Auburn's got the shift on. And now the count 2-0. In the game on Thursday, Burkhalter worked 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. Walked the leadoff man to the 9th. Then Auburn had a fielding error, a sac bunt, back-to-back intentional walks, and then the bases loaded walk to win it for Hancock. Here's a 2-0. Big cut by Hunter Hines.
Well, got a pitch right there, just couldn't connect. That's what you're looking for on 2-0. Burkhalter able to throw it past him.
And now 3-1.
Hill came inside and missed, but beyond missing the strike zone, really missed his target there. LaRue wanted that ball on the outside part of the plate.
But if you can get on base right here, you'd have to think Skinner's up there next to bunt. But you got to get step one first if you're State. Here's the 3-1. Low ball 4 and a leadoff walk here in the ninth. So one, are you pinch running? You would think State would be pinch running.
Or are you pinch hitting?
It looks like Matt Corder is going to be the pinch runner.
Yeah, Corder left the dugout with a bat, but they pulled the bat out of his hands. So Corder will go down to first base and be the pinch runner. But it looks like Aaron Downs, the freshman, will be the pinch hitter. Downs just 2 at-bats in conference games this season.
Freshman from Pella, Iowa, in a big situation right here. Burkhalter now working from the stretch. Downs squares early. Lays down a bunt. That is a great bunt by a freshman. Wow. And Corder goes into scoring position.
That's a really nice job by Aaron Downs. Comes in against a top-level closer. Knows he's got a guy, the electric fastball that he's facing. It just squares. Here's the big thing he did, Bart. He committed to the sacrifice. You see so many guys want to come up there and try
to here. You can walk it off. And foul ball, strike 1. What an outing for Joseph Gonzalez, who goes 8 innings, gives up 2 runs on 7 hits. And Kellum Clark swings over the top of that one, and now the count's 0-2.
Yeah, a couple of big swings, and now Bulldogs need Kellum Clark to shorten up, get a ball in play, see what happens.
They try to get the outside corner with a fastball.
I tell you what, though, that's an outstanding 0-2 pitch. Leaves it just off the plate, lets everybody kind of ooh and ah a minute.
told us last time up in the left field.
Yeah, ran that one inside.
Line drive left field, a base hit. State going to try to score the run. The throw to the plate, and he is out, and Auburn wins it on a tag play at the plate.
Well, let's see if we get a review, but that was a great job by Ware coming to get the ball and making the throw to the plate. Bulldogs are going to ask him to take a look.
Auburn needed the perfect throw. And they got it. Got the throw.
Let's see where the tag was made.